YouTube, welcome. Against the spread here, back with some above average, mediocre content. Today we pick our top picks for week 4 of the NFL. We have Tim Nato 7, TB4, and myself BXR 10. Well, let's have a quick recap of week 3. Um, it looks like I am ahead now. I went 4 for 4 last week. I was spot on with all my picks, while NATO and TB4 both only got one pick.
Yeah, that was a rough week for myself and NATO. I think Dallas let me down a little bit. I thought they were going to keep that game within a field goal. They definitely did not. Houston really let me down. I thought they were actually going to take that game and run away with it. They were actually winning that game 21-20 with a couple minutes left and gave up the go-ahead touchdown. I didn't think they were going to even get a hand on Deshaun Watson, but they were able to put some pressure on him. Deshaun Watson still trying to click with that offense. I had thought that they had gotten over some hurdles the previous week, and they just let me down. So
Yeah, and Vegas, same thing with Vegas. Vegas was right there in that game with the Patriots, and then the second half they just lost it, and it's really disappointing coming off that win against the Saints that they couldn't keep that rolling. I really regret I should have had the Chiefs as my lock pick, as they pretty much destroyed Baltimore, and they were underdogs. That 3.5 points was that game was money.
you know what's funny is, and none of those games are actually blowouts. And when I looked at all of our picks, I actually did a teaser parlay on all of our picks and ended up winning. So I actually still came out ahead, even though I didn't. The standings may not show it quite yet, but the pocketbook on the teaser parlay is looking decent.
And I like riding Joe Burrow. He's been doing well for me week after week. So, except I'm not doing him this week. So we'll see.
He's the favorite this week, and
all right, well, let's dive into it. DX, it started up. You were the 4 for 4 king of the week last week. So, what do you got going on this week?
All right, so week 4 here, I have Tampa -7. I have New Orleans -3, and I have the Bears +2.5 as my lock. Again, I'm just not very hot on Phillip Rivers there, and the Bears defense. They're decent. They're halfway decent. I don't know how well they're going to do against this offensive line that they put together against Indy, but I think they'll get enough pressure on them where they will have enough 3-and-outs or punts where the Bears are actually going to take it down. Nick Foles did really well in the second half last week. We haven't seen much with him with this offense, so I guess that is the unknown for this game, but I feel like he's a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky here, so I do see them actually taking this game straight up. Them getting the points is just more beneficial for me.
So you think they're going 4-0, huh?
I think so. I also took New Orleans here. They're playing Detroit. I just don't see New Orleans losing the third game in a row. I know I wasn't hot on them last week, but I think against Detroit, I think they're going to be able to actually push the ball up the field. I know Alvin Kamara, he was doing well. I mean, Kamara did really well out of the backfield, and he was getting dump off passes to him to rush up the sideline. He had the 50-something yard receiving touchdown or something. But the problem with New Orleans offense right now is that they can't push the ball down the field with Michael Thomas out. But playing against a Detroit Lions defense, I think they will be able to throw the ball down the field and actually gain some stuff.
Yeah, I think we all like that game. We all got I have New Orleans as well, and that's our against the spread lock pick of the week. So, I think we all have the same feeling. New Orleans, you can't hold them down for that long. That team is just too good. You got Drew Brees, and it's a well-coached team. They're not going to lose to Detroit, and they should win that game by more than 3.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that game at least by a minimum of a touchdown. The only game that Detroit, kept pretty close was against Arizona. I think that was actually just a fluke. I think they just didn't play as well as they should have against a Detroit team that is just hoping to run and gun and pray that they get the ball downfield in order to score points. But I think with NO, they think they have a bounce back week with Drew Brees. And I still think that defense is strong enough to just shut down Detroit enough for NO to just run up the score on them. So that's my lock of the week. And it looks like all of us were pretty consistent in that. So ATS lock pick.
My last pick was actually Tampa -7. I didn't talk much about this game, but I think Tampa's defense is very underrated defense. Herbert, I mean, that's just asking a lot from Herbert. I don't know if that rookie quarterback's going to actually be able to do much against this defense. So I think they will easily take the game like 28 to like 14, maybe 17. So I think that it's gonna be good for this game.
I'm not so. I know both you guys have Tampa Bay -7, but I'm not so sure on that game. That's the way. If you look at the Chargers, they played the Chiefs so well, and Tampa Bay, they're missing. Godwin's going to be out again for them with the hurt hamstring. So I don't know if Tampa Bay wins that game by more than 7. Maybe it ends up as a tie. They win the game exactly by a touchdown. But I think the Chargers find a way to keep it close. Maybe they don't win the game, but I don't think it's going to be – I think it'll be close for sure.
So I think the difference between KC and Tampa is kind of what BX was saying. I mean, the defense in Tampa Bay is definitely a stronger defense than KC has. KC has the luxury of being able to score at will and run up scores, which puts teams behind and forces them into passing, where KC can just sit back in like a 2, to cover 3 and just try to go for picks and try to make plays, whereas they just don't have the same playmakers as Tampa Bay does. I don't think the Chargers offense is as strong. So I'm looking for that game to be a 27-17 game, 27-13 game, like you were saying too. My other pick, my third pick was Atlanta +7. It's going to be a shootout. I mean, there's a matter of time where Atlanta is just going to not give up one of those late games. The Packers are playing out of their minds right now, so maybe it's not even a good pick on my part. But I think Atlanta at least keeps it close. They haven't lost games by more than a field goal. The Packers have been just, running the ball downfield at will. They've been passing downfield. I think the Packers are a little bit banged up at the receiving position. Not that it matters with Aaron Rodgers. I think Atlanta just keeps that game close. I'm looking for that to be like a 34-33 game, 34-27 game. It's going to be within a touchdown. And I think Atlanta either, sneaks by with one or, Green Bay doesn't win by more than a field goal.
I don't know about that. I mean, Atlanta isn't a very good team. I mean, they have been keeping the games close, but I think that they lost against the Bears like 4, and I think Green Bay is a better team than the Bears. And you just can't stop Green Bay's offense. It's like not even possible right now. They're so hot.
Yeah, but I don't think Adams is coming back, and I don't think and then Lazard just had surgery, so they're losing 2 of their receivers. The only guy that they're going to have is Valdez. So, they're going to have to be running the ball and hoping Valdez steps up as a decent number 1 receiver for the day. But
they also have Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones coming out of the backfield, so he's going to play a pivotal role in this game. It's my guess.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. If Atlanta can play a full game, the way they played the first half of the last 2 games against Dallas and the Bears, they'd be a good team, but it seems like they can't close out games. They just go into meltdown mode. They're in, like I said, Super Bowl form, blowing huge leads.
Hey, that's why I'm playing the spread. I don't need them to win. I need them to cover 7 points.
That's true. That's true. Against the spread, I'll make it. Go ahead, Tim.
You got Seattle over 54.5 and Seattle -5.5 is the lock. I mean, that's your go-to game this week.
Yeah. So Seattle. I'm betting big on Seattle this week. They're the hottest. I think they're one of the best teams in the league. Russell Wilson is just on fire. Just the same as last year. He's killing it. He's thrown 14 touchdowns in 3 games, and he goes up against a soft defense in Miami who just is getting killed through the air this year. I think Byron Jones is still hurt for them, and I see no chance of Miami slowing down Seattle's offense. And but the way Miami plays, I think they're going to score up. They're going to turn it into a bit of a shootout, trailing. I think Seattle wins the game by 10 to 14 points. But it ends up being, I could see Seattle scoring 40, maybe a 42 to like 28 game here. I see it being that high scoring. So, I mean, I think Seattle pretty much steamrolls them, but Miami puts up points towards the end, just trying to get back in the game.
And I actually could see that. I mean, Seattle's defense it's really bad too, and Miami's offense is actually pretty decent.
Moving the ball a little bit. Seattle's bottom 2 or 3 in yards given up. I mean, it has to slow down.
And Seattle's defense, though, they're also missing key player Jamal Adams in the secondary. He's probably their best defender, and he's out. So that's why I see Miami being able to put some points on the board. but I just don't think they're keeping up. It'll be a shootout that Miami just falls behind and isn't able to, catch back up in that game, and it goes over.
So for fantasy lineups, do you guys have any sleepers? I have two solid sleeper receivers. One of them I kind of called out earlier with Valdez and the Packers. And I actually like Preston Williams a lot this week for Miami. I think he's gonna put up some numbers.
I agree. I'm actually starting Preston Williams in the flex in one of my leagues where I'm kind of hurt, and
Yeah, I love it.
so I think he's going to get a touchdown, and maybe he might break out this week.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to have his week or two where he becomes a dominant receiver and like people start putting him on like the top 15, 20 receiver radar, and he's gonna get some fantasy value. And then I say sell, sell, sell.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I think that covers all of our picks. I bet you if you tease these, you're going to go, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like a 5-16 team parlay. If you tease this parlay and put them together, it might make some coin. But don't take any of our advice. Don't bet on any of the picks that we have. Just take our conversations and bet accordingly.
And this is for fun, guys. So if you do like our content, please subscribe and like. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week.